Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. Recently, there has been a strong official promotion in China to vigorously study selected works of Xi Jinping. After the second most powerful figure in the CCP issued the terrifying requirement to thoroughly absorb Xi Jinping's thoughts into one's mind, heart, and soul, the party's organization department on May 29th also published an article in the party's most important mouthpiece, People's Daily, praising Xi Jinping. The wording and tactics used in the article are very similar to the praise of Mao Zedong in the articles leading up to the Cultural Revolution. The Wall Street Journal states that the Chinese Communist Party's need to study Xi's works is in response to an unprecedented crisis. But is that really the case? Today, I'd like to discuss this matter. On May 22nd, a meeting on the publication of the first and second volumes of selected works of Xi Jinping was held in Beijing. Cai Qi, a member of the Politburo Standing Committee and Secretary of the Secretariat of the CCP Central Committee, hosted the meeting and delivered a speech. He proposed that studying selected works of Xi Jinping should deeply resonate with one's mind, heart, and soul. He said, the selected works of Xi Jinping vividly records the great historic process of the party's Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at the core, leading the people to create a new era of socialism with Chinese characteristics and continuously achieve new victories. It reflects the major theoretical innovations made by Chinese communists in promoting the Sinicization and modernization of Marxism in the new era, fully demonstrating the truth and strength of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era in leading the construction of a strong nation and national rejuvenation, and showcasing the Chinese Communist Party's dedication to promoting a better world and its wisdom and responsibility. Through studying the selected works, we should comprehensively and systematically deepen our understanding of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, cultivate political loyalty, shoulder our mission, foster a spirit of hard work, cultivate deep emotions, enhance our struggle skills, and maintain clear and firm awareness. We should carry out in-depth systematic education and promote the integration of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era into our minds, hearts, and souls. This unprecedented level of praise has left many people feeling both terrified and disgusted, especially the statement that people should absorb Xi Jinping's thoughts into their minds, hearts, and souls reminds people of a famous ancient Chinese ghost storybook called Liao Zai Zhi Yi, or Strange Tales from a Chinese Studio. In that book, only when ghosts and foxes transformed into a beautiful woman and seduced a man did they take away his soul. Now Xi Jinping asks people to devote not only their minds and hearts, but also their souls to them. Isn't that frightening? An overlooked fact by many media outlets is that on March 30th of this year, Xi Jinping personally demanded that the entire party study his thoughts during a Politburo meeting. On April 3rd, Xinhua News Agency issued a lengthy article calling for the study of Xi Jinping's thoughts, and once again, Xi Jinping gave a speech demanding that all county level and above officials across the country study his thoughts on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. Meanwhile, Cai Qi obtained a new title, leader of the Central Leading Group for studying, implementing, and promoting Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. The meeting on May 22nd is clearly a reflection of Cai Qi actively fulfilling his new role after acquiring the new title. The Wall Street Journal published an article stating that Xi Jinping's call to study his thoughts is a response to an unprecedented crisis caused by the failure of the zero COVID policy. Is the situation really like that? I don't think it is entirely the case. Admittedly, after Xi Jinping's 3-year lockdown policy failed, and with the economy deteriorating, the CCP indeed faced an unprecedented crisis in its governance. However, I believe that the call to study Xi's works is not solely in response to this crisis. Let's take a look at some official reports. This is a report from 2021 titled Promotion Ceremony of Xi Jinping's Important Works in the Language Versions of Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states held in Beijing. The report states that the promotion ceremony for Xi Jinping's important works was held in Beijing on November 17th. The first volume of Xi Jinping, The Governance of China, was released in 8 languages, along with the Russian version of Xi Jinping's talks on the Belt and Road Initiative. In other words, at that time, Xi Jinping's works had already been translated into various languages of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states, and a special launch event was held. In April of this year, when the first and second volumes of the selected works of Xi Jinping were released, they were intensively covered in national media and professional propaganda agencies. This report is from Shanxi TV station and shows that many people were eagerly studying Xi Jinping's work. Now let me share a report from 2020. The title of this report is the third volume of Xi Jinping, The Governance of China, debuts at the Shanghai Book Fair, Understanding China in the New Era. The report states that on June 30th, the third volume of Xi Jinping, The Governance of China, was released in Chinese and English, and it was prominently displayed at the theme pavilion of this year's Shanghai Book Fair. It also mentions that a total of 30 multilingual versions of Xi Jinping, The Governance of China, was exhibited, covering 15 languages. Additionally, a total of 31 works by Xi Jinping were showcased. The first batch of the third volume of Xi Jinping, The Governance of China, has been distributed to more than 70 countries and regions across the 5 continents and is being sold directly to readers in local books. And this report is also from 2020 and comes from Taiwanese media. It displays several photos of primary school students studying Xi Jinping's books, indicating that even elementary school students are being required to study Xi Jinping's ideology. This is a series of videos produced by the Beijing Municipal Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, CPPCC, in 2019. And this is already the 9th episode In each video, several CPPCC members take turns reciting different excerpts from Xi Jinping, the governance of China. Let's take a look at one segment together. Okay, I don't want to translate the content recited by these people. It's basically empty words from Xi Jinping. However, the solemn recitation by the CPPCC members does make one uneasy. It makes us remember the Cultural Revolution era. I'm playing this just to show everyone the true state of China today. Okay, let's just stop here. So let's show another one. This report is from 2017, showing that even before the 19th National Congress, the CCP was already promoting Xi Jinping's books with an unprecedented propaganda campaign. Since 2023, this campaign has continued to intensify. For example, this article mentions that a professor from the Marxism College has gone deep into communities to lead middle school students in studying selected works of Xi Jinping and the Quanzhou School District of Xiamen City. Prominent figures from various fields have also posted photos of themselves reading Xi Jinping's works to express their loyalty. For example, here is a photo of the famous comedian and chairman of the Chinese Qu Artist Association, Jiang Kun, studying Xi's selected works. And this is Wang Meng, a famous writer and a former Minister of Culture of China. And here we have Wang Han, a popular television host. These are many other individuals from various backgrounds following the trend. And this is a photo of a black man studying Xi's selected works, indicating that even foreigners have been captivated by Xi Jinping's ideology. And here's the bookstore staff member displaying the Arabic version of Xi Jinping's work. Now, let's make a comparison. This is a propaganda photo from the Cultural Revolution era featuring Lin Biao, the vice chairman of the CCP's Central Military Commission and was chosen as Mao Zedong's successor, studying Mao's selected works. And this is Lei Feng, a model soldier of the People's Liberation Army, who was hailed as a hero and depicted here, studying Mao's selected works. And in this propaganda poster, the three representative figures, a worker, a peasant, and a soldier, are all holding Mao's selected works with the slogan below saying, "Devote a lifetime to revolution. Read Chairman Mao's books for a lifetime." Take a look and compare. Do you feel that the current situation of learning Xi Jinping's selected works in China is not far from the situation of studying Mao's selected works during the Cultural Revolution? So, the movement to study Xi Jinping thought is not something that started recently, but has been promoted for many years. Westerners may try to imagine and infer Xi Jinping's thoughts using their own rational thinking and believe that his zero tolerance, zero COVID policy has failed and he must find a way to cover up its failure. In reality, if you carefully think about it, which policy implemented by Xi Jinping over these years has not ended in failure. He is often referred to as the king of rotten tail projects because almost all of his initiatives have been left incomplete, lacking follow through. But has he ever felt embarrassed or awkward about it? I don't think so. Therefore, he repeatedly starts new waves of studying Xi Jinping thought, even to the extent of appointing Cai Qi, who is essentially the second-ranking figure within the party and should have been Xi Jinping's colleague as a member of the Political Bureau Standing Committee, as the head of the special group responsible for studying Xi Jinping thought. So this is just Xi Jinping steadfastly advancing towards his own goals. As we have mentioned before, his goal is to catch up with and even surpass his idol Mao Zedong, whom he has admired since his youth. Also, his father and even himself suffered during the Cultural Revolution. It hasn't affected his admiration for Mao Zedong. Perhaps in his eyes, the ability to arbitrarily manipulate and persecute others is also a sign of strength. He wants to become that kind of strongman. Therefore, it can be said that China is returning to the era of the Cultural Revolution, which is no longer a possibility but a reality. Those who fail to recognize this reality will inevitably suffer and make wrong judgments and decisions when dealing with the CCP. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please double check if you are still subscribed to my channel, as YouTube keeps taking off my subscribers. And if you like my content, please spread my channel and videos or go to my website at jenniferzengblog.com. That's jenniferzengblog.com. Sign up for a membership or make a donation to support my effort. Thank you. See you next time.